how are you differentiating your school from the competition, and ultimately, what other challenges do you run into with that?
We seek to differentiate ourselves by offering the best content. We've done a lot to establish ourselves as a reliable source of information, even for people that aren't coming to Southwestern. We used to have several live events, just Law Day, and we have a lot of affinity groups. We were very active with the recent protests and demonstrations in Los Angeles, both from the legal end and the human end of it. We just keep on one-upping ourselves and what everyone else is doing. We're just, it's really exciting, it's really fast-paced, and we're really tired because we just had our first virtual orientation yesterday, which I believe, I don't know how it's gonna sound egotistical, but I don't know how another institution can deliver a better product than the one we offered our students, our new 1Ls yesterday. It was amazing. And we just only put out great stuff. And it's not, to address what Randy said, it's not always the most slick thing. Some of these are videos taken on an iPhone and edited on an iPhone, especially Gen Z. They don't want it to look like it came out of MGM Studios. You know, they really appreciate just kind of the straight talk and the straight dope and the like, here we are, come as you are, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So we try to do that.
Really, really good stuff. Randy, same question. I mean, I think, you know, you kind of hit on that, and we talk a lot about this in the future of how you can use digital virtual experiences even when we go back to normal operations. If we ever do go back to normal and we do having those virtual fairs, how can we differentiate your school for prospective students so when they are showing up to the virtual fair, they know really who to look for and what schools to really dive into?
I think, again, being responsive to what they're asking about, not to the kind of the canned preformed answers that they actually are expecting. That's been thus far I guess that's been the thing that's kind of stuck out that I've heard over and over and over again is you gave me real answers to the questions that I wanted to hear, not the answers that you wanted me to hear. And that's it. It makes all the difference in the world. And again, because we're a small school by design, you know, when all the glitz and the glamour and getting them through orientation and classes start, you know, I'm still here. And so they're counting on that, and they've counted on it the whole time I've been here to be able to help them and give them honest advice, the best guidance that I possibly can. And yeah, I want the school to you know, to look the best in their eyes, but I also want to make sure that my integrity and I think the university's integrity is intact. And if I don't know the answer, I'm the first to tell them, you know, I'm not quite sure about that, but let me find out and I'll get back with you, or I can put you in contact with the person who does know best in that area. And I think just kind of going the extra mile, not just pointing to an office, but literally taking them there if they're here in the building, or to be able to direct them has been very, very helpful.
Right. And then Shannon, last but not least, your perspective. I know UGA Law is a little bit bigger law school than Hillary and Randy are from. So when I'm a prospective student and maybe I'm looking at your Tennessees and your Georgias and your big, long history established type law schools, how do you guys differentiate yourself?
We are the oldest law school in the state of Georgia, but that only gets you so far. And with some students, that's going to be a ding against us, quite frankly. Okay. But we're just really proud of the people that we have here. And that's going to be our challenge this year, that normally we would get a student, you know, they'd see our webpage or we'd meet them at a fair, and then they would come and visit and they'd get a student-led tour and they'd sit in on a class and they would just they'd feel how excited our students were to be here. For a lot of students, this is one of their top choices, and so they're thrilled to be here. That's going to be something that we have to make sure that we're capturing in different ways. We always push our value, you know, aside from the people and the touchy-feely stuff, we push our value. And that is something that we can put in a digital format. You know, we talk about our price. We're a state school. We haven't increased tuition in ages and ages, and, you know, fingers crossed that remains the case even with budget cuts. And then we talk about our bar passage rate. We talk about our job placement rate. You know, that's going to be more informative to someone than rankings. I agree with Hillary that rankings are a sticky wicket. But when you are able to tell someone what they're buying, that is something that we can put forward in a virtual platform that does differentiate us from other schools that they might be looking at. And then of course, people either love Athens or they don't like it because it's too small. And normally Athens sells itself, but this year there was no admitted student open house. There were no dogwoods blooming. There was nothing like that. So I think it is remarkable that we made the class that we made just by the virtual stuff that we did. So.
Yeah. Really good stuff. And I think just to sum up this question, the biggest thing that I'm taking away from y'all's responses is you all really truly believe in your people. And that is one of the things that's going to be really important as we move into this fully digital space, because COVID hit in March. We got about maybe 75% of our traditional recruitment cycle built up to that point, and you were able to connect with people. But as we move into this new recruitment cycle, we're kind of going into a little bit more of a blind eye. So everything that we truly believe in here at StudentBridge, and what I'm hearing from you all, is we have to figure out a way digitally to connect our prospective students to our people, and that's something that as a big takeaway.